Hi, I'm Kit Bowen with Screen Picks. Nice to speak with you. I had a chance to watch the film just the other night, and it was very compelling, very compelling. She was a fascinating, fascinating woman. I'm just curious for you, what sort of brought you into this, and then what was the aspects of her story that you really wanted to tell?
Well, actually, the script was sent by my agent, and he told me, "Oh, they want to make a film about Marie Curie," and I was like, "There are already, films about Marie Curie," and it was like, read it, and the script came, and the title of it was Radioactive. And what was very striking for me is that obviously, is a woman that I grew up, in her myth. I always looked up at her. She was a role model given by my mom. Look at Marie Curie. Look at Marie Curie. So I knew who she was, but. Then suddenly it was a film about a scientist. Actually, you actually talked about the science. You realize that she's someone that is very passionate. So that can be in her love story, that can be in her discovery. Whatever she does, she makes it with lots of passion. Is a portrait of a woman who does not compromise and has a huge sense of integrity. And it was not tried to make her smooth and nice and cute, because as soon as you're a man and you're a genius, it's okay to be difficult. But when you're a woman and you're a genius, still you have to be very smooth, which does not go together, because when you're a genius and you're focused, you don't have the time to ask yourself if your neighbor like you or not, because you don't care. So that does not makes you an extremely easy person.
Right.
And then on the top of that, it was a story that actually talked also about the aftermath of the discovery. But when you have make a discovery this big, you cannot not talk about it, because it changed, the face of the world. So all of that made me say, okay, this is maybe a story of Marie Curie, but it's a completely new way of doing it, and it's not a straight biopic. And that is, if I have to make one biopic in my life, which I will, is going to be this only one.
Well, she's I mean, it's these stories about these women and the things they accomplished in times that were so foreign to what we are now, but not so foreign. You know what I mean? It's like it's still, women still have to struggle in these things, but back then, for what she did, it was just fascinating.
It's just fascinating. But also in the history of women, the problem is that we are not all the time advancing. Sometimes we advance and sometimes we go back. Like Marie Curie, she had much less difficulties to do this stuff than her daughter, because she comes from after the war, and it became more difficult for women. Where between 1900 and 1910, it was a little window of freedom, and so women, they were more free. Like today, when I see the number of abortion center that close, I'm sorry, but
Yes.
that is not goes with women rights. So we cannot call that we are not advancing when we are doing that. So yes, it's still valid. We still have to prove, but what can we do?
Yeah.
At the same time, 5,000 years of patriarchal culture, we cannot erase it in 5 years.
Right.
We will need some time.
Well, I have just a small window of time left here, but I just wanted to ask you, because I felt like, portraying the legacy of what she discovered and what it turned out to be used for, I thought was fascinating too. That was really well done. I mean, what are
Thank
your
you very.
thoughts? Yeah.
No, this is it, because the scientists discover something, and it has nothing to do with the scientists. I mean, the fire, you can use it to burn a whole city, and you can make great meal with it. It depends how you use it. So it more question us about what do we do when we have something new. What do we do? But we need to talk about these things. If we don't talk about it, then we just keep on doing the same stuff, and it's
Right.
good. We better don't.
Right. Well, it was a really well done film, and Rosamund Pike was amazing in it, and I'm sure you had great working relationship with her. But thank you so much for spending the time with me, and good luck to you. I hope to talk to you at some time again.
Thank you very much.
All
Thank
right. Bye bye.
you.